I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Marillaba, Birdsville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Connemara, Connemara, Strathrown, Proserpine, Ulladulla, Darwin, Gingin, Lilliquin, Muckdilla, Wallumbilla, Bougainville, Cumberland, Ramakilla. I've been.
And where are we off to today, Rob?
Oh, this is a story that has taken a long time to come to fruition, but I'm very excited. A recent trip in the camper van across the Nullarbor to Western Australia. On the way back, we pulled into this little town called Southern Cross. It was a warm day, very hot day, in fact. And we're driving around the town looking at what the town had to provide, and we came upon a swimming pool. And Robin immediately said, "Stop, I want to go in there." And we went in there and we met two beautiful people, and we promised them a chat on the Pulse Radio, and we've got them at last. Sandy and John Chabari, good morning and welcome to Regional Roundup.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rob and listeners.
Great to have you. Really appreciate your time. We were taken by a little sign that came in, winner of Tidy Town. And out in Western Australia, I don't know if you've been there, some of the towns, they're quaint, but it's red dust and there's not too much pretty or tidy about them. But this town was exactly that. It was a beautiful town, lovely set out, brand new swimming pool, which was state of the art and lovely. You do have a pretty town to live in, Sandy. You must be really proud of it.
We certainly do. Very, very proud of our town. Proud of what the local shire is actually doing to improve the amenities and whatnot that we have here in our town as well.
Yeah, well, for a traveller to come through and find a little, it was almost like an oasis in the desert. And having said that, it's not derogatory about the neck of the woods, because I love that drive across the Nullarbor in Western Australia. It's just a beautiful, everywhere you go, there's something lovely to look at. But to come across a little spot like yours in amongst it all, it's just a breath of fresh air to take some time, stop, eat, rest, but more importantly, have a swim in the lovely pool that you look after. You occasionally drop in the water yourself, Sandy?
Oh, I swim every day. I'm currently, every February I do a swim challenge for the Starlight Children's Foundations to raise money for the sick kids. So last season I did 40 kilometres in Feb, and this year I've raised it to swim 60 kilometres.
So you try and do one a day or two a day? Well, obviously two a day in a month.
No, I pretty much do between 50 to 100 laps a day.
So you do that in the morning before you start work?
Predominantly morning, but if I don't get time, I do it in the evening when I close.
Oh, okay, that would be at this time of the year. I know you don't have daylight saving over there, but
no.
But still plenty of sunlight at the end of the day. So how long would it take you to do 50 laps? Because it's a 50-metre pool, I think, isn't it?
No, it's a 25-metre pool.
Used to be
25-metre pool. Used to be when it was first built in 1963. It was the old 33-metre pool. It was until it was rebuilt.
So lots of laps and lots of turns. So how long do you spend in the water?
So about half an hour.
Okay.
Get 50 laps out in half an hour, roughly.
So if there's a nice swimming pool there, how many people live in this town, Rob? Do we know?
Oh,
yeah.
Back in the 60s, as we got here.
Back in the 60s, I think we were roughly about 1,200.
And the Shire was about 2,800.
Yeah,
okay.
Shire was about 2,800.
And you're probably not quite that now.
No, now it's roughly, but I think roughly between 6 to 650 now.
That's at the last census.
At the last census.
Yeah, and when you get a hot day over there, I reckon a lot of them would be looking to head to the pool. And also, Sandy, it's interesting you make that point, because we had a bit of a segment earlier about health and well-being and fitness, and we talked a lot about exercises, but we didn't talk much about swimming. But certainly that's a way you can have an enjoyable time in the water, cool yourself down, but look after the body, because we do need to spend more time looking after that.
We certainly do. I love my swimming.
So how many young folk in the town, like the school there, would you have 60 or 80 kids in the school still?
We have, in the actual town site itself, we have two schools. So we have the district high school, and we have St Joe's Catholic school.
And they would be bussed in from a fair way away into that school?
No, the furthest that they're bussed in from would be Marvelock, which is one of our little outlying towns. So we have Marvelock, Bullfinch, Moorine Rock, Bedellen, Kooyanobbing. So
Love those names.
yeah.
What's our Shire area? Tell me what's our Shire
So
area.
they're roughly built. They're roughly probably 50-something kilometres is probably the furthest
Yep, yep.
be coming in from.
Oh, that's great news. Now,
There's the outlaying farms
Yeah.
where the kids are all picked up from too, and you know, the square kilometres of Southern Cross of Shire is 30,720 square kilometres.
yeah, it's a lot of area if you're doing all the lawns. Not that there's a lot of lawn over there to do. Hey, let's talk a bit about the history. And you're in Geelong, and you're in talking to two people who were mad Geelong Football Club supporters. And there was a fellow that I think, got a couple over there as well. But a fellow I think has been treated historically a little poorly, with the names of Ablett and Bartel and Johnson and Enright that have talked about very commonly. There was a fellow named Joel Corey who was one of my favourites. I thought he was very much the benchmark of the team's performance. He was always very, very good when things were tough, and I was delighted to find out that his little journey started not far from you.
Yeah, well, my neighbour 2 doors up was walking around with a Geelong blazer on one day, and I said to him, where'd you get that from? Because it was a magnificent blazer. And he said, my son plays for Geelong. And me being a Geelong supporter, I thought, he's just making that up then. An old fella up the road, he doesn't even follow footy really. So I thought I'd test him, and I said, well, who's that? And he said, Joel Corey. I said, well, at least he started. He's picked a West Australian, so he's on the right track. And I asked him who he played for before that, and he told me. And he said he also played state softball or baseball, I'm not sure, but he played one of those for state. And as it turns out, Ted Corey, which is Joel Corey's dad, married Jimmy Martin's sister, which is my neighbour 2 doors up, and they lived out at Bullfinch, which I think is 32 kilometres from Southern Cross. So I don't know when they left there or what year they left there, but yeah, so that's a bit of a tie to Southern Cross as well.
Yeah, and on that same journey over, we travelled through a little place called Kimber, where Corey Enright, and we used to get the Coreys mixed up. A lot of Geelong supporters did, but regional, again, producing wonderful Australian rules footy, and Geelong have recruited well out of both South Australia and Western Australia over the years, and it's a great story, and I know, being a mad Geelong supporter, that you are too, John, that it was a great thrill to be able to have a situation where one of our heroes is basically right on your doorstep.
Yes.
No, it's really good. And mining's still a part of the region there. It's very important.
Yeah, mining's big. Lithium's taken off a bit, but I think it's dropped again, so they're not sure what's happening out here. And I've also been told that not far from here, Cambolda, nickel's not going too well either, so I don't know what's happening. But yeah, mainly we're right on the border of the goldfields and the mining industry, so there's a bit of sheep, not a lot of cattle, so mainly wheat and gold, iron ore, nickel, those sorts of things, and that's always been the industry here, not much else. There is a big salt mine out past Cooley where we do WA salt. They've got a big name for a lot of our salt from out there is I think taken all over the world.
Now, that is magnificent. You have a beautiful part of the world, not just the town itself, but the whole region. I love it, and I encourage anyone who's travelling across to the west to stop in at Southern Cross, spend some time. It is a lovely town. Sandy and John, we appreciate your time this morning. It's taken a long time, but I'm so glad we chatted, and I look forward to seeing you the next time we're over.
Most definitely. I'll be back at the pool.
Yeah, good on you.
They'll have the towel ready for you, right?
Thank you very much. Best wishes to you both.
Thanks, Rob. See ya.
Have a nice day. Bye.